she'd expected, especially for summer, raising goosebumps on the bare skin of her arms and shoulders. But it was too late to turn back. Maddy didn't know what time it was, only that it was late, probably sometime just after midnight. Colton wasn't a bustling town even in the middle of the day. As she slipped between houses, dashed across a dirt road, and then hurried across the church grounds, she saw no one, set no dogs to barking, and noticed only one lamp burning behind a drawn curtain. On and on she ran, as fast as she could, fearful she would be late. Colton had been built into the crook between two narrow rivers that flowed out of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. The Lewis River ran to the north, while the Clark River meandered to the south. The town was small, surrounded by thick stands of evergreens, and was located only a few miles south of the Canadian border. It was the only home Maddy had ever known, and in only a few short hours, the part of it she loved most was leaving. Maddy hurried to the bank of the Lewis River, carefully stepping through the carpet of dry pine needles that covered the ground. She gave a silent curse. Her bare feet caused her to move more slowly than she liked. Beside her, the river ran low, its water gurgling over rocks worn smooth as eggs. The air was filled with the fresh, sharp scent of pine. She hadn't gone far when a bridge loomed up out of the night before her. In the glare of the moon's bright light, its bare steel frame resembled a skeleton. Breaking into a run, Maddy padded out onto its wooden planks, looking in every direction and growing alarmed. "I'm alone." Dread began to fill Maddy's stomach. She knew it was later than she'd promised, but there hadn't been anything she could do to get out of the house. It's not fair. If only her father wasn't so pig-headed stubborn. If only her sister had gone to sleep as usual. And if only—
I was starting to wonder if you were coming.
Maddy turned at the sound of his voice, gasping in both surprise and happiness. He was sitting on the bridge's railing in shadows so deep she could have been looking right at him and wouldn't have known he was there. As she watched, he leaped down, his boots thudding on the planks. Without saying a word, Maddy rushed to him, threw her arms around his chest and squeezed him tight. Even though she'd been with him only a few hours earlier, it felt as if days had passed. She wanted to hold on to him, to cling jealously to the warmth of his touch, the smell of his skin, the sound of his voice, and never let him go.
"I've been waiting for almost an hour,"
he said softly. "I came as quickly as I could."
"I was starting to get awfully worried,"
he said, gently stroking her hair.
"I decided that if you didn't show up in the next 5 minutes, I was going to march over to your house and bang on the door until you came out."
"My father would have answered with his gun."
"You know I'm not scared of him."
"Still," he chuckled.
"It's probably for the best that you showed up when you did."
Maddy knew that he meant it. Though he was only 3 years older than she was, he'd always seemed sure of himself, confident, almost fearless, as if there was nothing he couldn't do as long as he set his mind to it. He wouldn't let anything get in the way of his dreams, not even Silas Aldridge's worries about his daughter's well-being. It was one of the reasons Maddy had fallen in love with him, and one of the things she'd miss most. "I still can't believe you're leaving," she said.
"Me either,"
he answered. "It's for too long," Maddy whined, knowing that she sounded like a child. Placing his fingers under her chin, he raised her face up until their eyes met.
"I'm not going away forever,"
he explained.
"I'll only be in Boston for a couple of years. Once I get the schooling my father's so insistent on, I'll be back. Then we can start our life together.
We can get married.
And build a house, have some children, and grow so old our faces are nothing but wrinkles."
He laughed, trying to cheer her up.
"Everything we've dreamed about will come true. All we have to do is be patient."
"It's just that I'm so scared," Maddy said as tears filled her eyes. She'd promised herself that she wouldn't cry in front of him, not tonight. But knowing how long it would be before